Let's continue on with the prospect pool overviews today. We got the Ottawa Senators next up on the docket. The Ottawa Senators prospect pool, with a team that has been making the playoffs now, is weak. But there are still some solid pieces to it that are definitely worth discussing and taking a look at. So let's hop right in. Let's start off with who I think, in my opinion, is their best forward prospect, and that is Blake Montgomery. He was born in Annapolis, Maryland, I believe. Is 6'4", 196 pounds. He is a left wing, drafted 117th overall in 2024. He played 51 games with the London Knights this past year in the OHL after being in the USHL. Had 23 goals for 50 points. He won the Memorial Cup with London. He is a power forward and a very speedy skater. I've heard from some Senators fans have said that this guy is their best prospect. I have heard some things, though, about Stephen Halliday. I'll get into him next. But regardless, I think Montgomery has some good offensive sides to his game. He's a well-sized defender as well. And he can play a little bit of like a power forward-esque. Not saying that he is going to be like a really good player for the Senators in the future. He could be like a fourth liner, honestly. We'll have to see. He is not yet signed to a contract, so he is going back for another year in the OHL. So we're going to monitor that and see where things go from there. But Montgomery, nonetheless, is still a solid prospect and is worth keeping an eye on for a little bit. Stephen Halliday just concluded his first full year in the OHL after coming from Ohio State University. He was born in Ajax, Ontario, is 6'4", 212 pounds, was drafted 109th overall in 2022. He is listed as a center. He played 71 games with Belleville this past year, scored 19 goals, had 51 points. A very solid first full year in the AHL. He's got some good shine offensively, but he's a little bit shaky defensively. And for a center, you want to be at least a little bit decent at playing defense, and Halliday does lack that. But you're not expecting top-of-the-line defense from him. He's not like a two-way forward in that sense. Has good offensive styles, got good passing knowledge. Again, you can tell from his seasons in Ohio State, he prefers to pass the puck rather than shoot the puck. So that's notable there with him. But overall, has put up some very respectable numbers throughout his career. He's going to go back for another year in the AHL. We may see him play NHL games next year. We'll have to see. He is on the last year of, I believe, his entry-level contract, so we'll have to see what happens there. But regardless, Halliday is looking pretty decent and one of the better forward prospects for Ottawa. So this guy, Blake Vanek, is a interesting case. This guy was playing high school last year and was drafted in the third round by Ottawa. He's from Stillwater, Minnesota, so that makes sense. He's 6'3", 205 pounds. He's a right wing. Again, he was playing high school this year. He played with Stillwater High, had 29 games played, had 22 goals for 53 points. He had 9 games played in the USHL, though, as you can tell, had 5 points. Not bad numbers there for a 18-year-old kid. He's going off to Wenatchee. I almost said he was born in Wenatchee. He's going off to play for the Wild over there, and he has a very hulking frame, is what I've seen a lot. Again, 6'2". He weighs in way more than some of the other prospects on this list. So Vanek is definitely an exciting case. He is a third-round pick. He is going to take some time. Again, he's going off to his first year in the WHL, but has some good sides to his game. And the fact that he was putting up those numbers in high school and played games in the USHL and was still drafted this year is pretty impressive. So there's a lot of upside there with Blake Vanek. We'll see how he performs in the coming years. Now, moving on to the bread and butter of the prospect pool, Carter Yakimchuk, a 7th overall pick in 2024. He was born in Fort McMurray, Alberta, is 6'4", 207 pounds. He's a right shot defenseman. He played 56 games with the Calgary Hitmen, had 17 goals, 32 assists for 49 points with the team. The fact that he wasn't invited at least to the World Junior Camp is still crazy to me. Put up good numbers there in the playoffs as well for Calgary. This is a guy who people actually kind of forget the fact that he literally was like one of the last cuts for the Ottawa Senators in their training camp this past year. He was that good. He scored overtime winners in the preseason. He put up some really solid numbers as well. I think there is a ton of optimism here for Carter Yakimchuk. He's got a great size to skill ratio. He can move the puck very well, is one of the better offensive prospects in terms of defensemen heading into this year. Definitely ranks in, I would say, the top 10, top 15 for me in terms of defensemen. He's just that underrated. Anybody who doesn't like this guy, I know like his defense isn't the greatest, but even still, this guy's put up good enough numbers in the the WHL. I'm very tired to doubt this guy. So Yakimchuk, there's a lot of optimism there from me for him. He'll probably play NHL games this year. I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't be shocked if we see him actually perform. Again, he will be 20 by the start of the season, so there is a chance that he can play AHL games, but we'll have to see. Logan Hensler up next. Their first pick in this past year's draft was born in Woodbury, Minnesota, is 6'3", 198 pounds. He was drafted 23rd overall in 2025 by Ottawa. He is also a right shot defenseman. He played 32 games with Wisconsin, had 2 goals for 12 points. He got better as the year went on. He's a great skater as well. He did play in the World Juniors, but this is a guy who came over from the U.S. development program, just didn't start off the way we wanted him to, but he got better as the year went along. And I still think there's a lot of upside here for Hensler. I'm not going to just doubt him out whatsoever, or I guess count him out. So I think it's going to take a little bit for Hensler to get to the potential that he really wants to. He is going off to Wisconsin for another year. I think, again, we'll have to see what happens, but for a guy like him, I'm going to have my fingers crossed and hope that he keeps on developing there in Wisconsin. I have a lot of upside for him. I don't have a lot of thoughts on him because I think, again, I didn't watch a ton of Wisconsin hockey this year, so I can't really speak on my thoughts on him, but for a guy like Hensler, you got to think that there's definitely going to be a big season coming up. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that's going to go. In my opinion, he is the 3rd best prospect in Ottawa's system. Levi Merolainen, in some cases, you may not even consider this guy a prospect. 14 NHL games played, but he carried Ottawa on his back in the month of January and February. He was born in Oulu, Finland, 6'3", 185 pounds. He's a goaltender, drafted 71st overall in 2020. He played 12 games with Ottawa this year. That's what I'm going to lead off with. He had a 8-3-1 record with a 1.99 goals against and a .925 with the big club. A great stint for the Ottawa Senators. And that's a team who just signed Linus Ullmark to a contract. And it looks like next year, Merolainen will be the full-time backup for Ottawa. Again, he put up good numbers in the NHL, put up good numbers in the AHL, even with a pretty bad team there in Belleville. There's a lot to look forward to for the Ottawa Senators in the likes of Merolainen, where their goaltending for many years was not great. Having a guy like Merolainen in your system, but also having a guy like Linus Ullmark in your system, it's shaping up to be a pretty solid goalie tandem heading into 2025-26. So I'm very high on that. I'm a big fan of Merolainen, and I hope things get even better for him this year. Looking at some of the other prospects in the pool now for Ottawa, Xavier Bourgault was acquired in last year's offseason from the Oilers. He just completed his 3rd season in the NHL, or the AHL, and his first year with Belleville. Had 26 points in 61 games played. Not bad, but not a highly ranked prospect. Jorian Donovan just completed his first full year in the AHL. Had 12 points in 64 games played as a defenseman. Not too bad. Lucas Beckman, one of the more recent draft picks. He had a .914 with Bay Kumiu. I believe I'm saying that right. I'm not from the Q, so I apologize. Dmitry Izyaev just finished up his draft year in the MHL, had 45 points in 44 games played for Yekaterinburg. He was a 5th-round pick. And then Bruto Idzdan just completed his first full year in the USHL, 44 points in 36 games played. He was a 6th-round pick by Ottawa this year. And then looking at the prospect rankings for Ottawa, it's pretty clear the top 5 are very solid. Carter Yakimchuk, leaving Merrill Lanen, Logan Hensler, Blake Montgomery, and Stephen Halliday. After that, it gets a little bit touch and go. Vanek, Borgalt, Donovan, Beckman, and Iziev round out your top 10. Overall, for Ottawa, they're in that stage where they're just getting into the playoffs, but they still have some decent prospects in the pool that you can take a look at. It is worth noting for the people who don't follow the Ottawa Senators, they will not have a first-round pick next year. Not because of trading it away. Well, I guess it kind of does relate to that, but they have a void pick due to the Dadonov deal. So any new prospects we discuss next year will either be earned by trading for a first-round pick or they're just drafted in later rounds. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below on the Ottawa Senators and their prospect pool. Thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like the video down below and subscribe if you are new. But anyways, that is it for me. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.